For your relationship and marriage advice, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel called Sakamakaya with Mr. and Mrs. Mbata.
Good evening, family. Welcome to another episode of Sakamakaya with Mr. and Mrs. Mbata. Ngiyathemba ukuthi nisase right, nisagciniwe la inkhona and bazali i-COVID ayikapheli. I hope you're still taking good care of yourselves. All the precautions ezidingekayo ngoba ayikapheli. So let us try as much as possible to avoid the second wave.
Yes.
Baby, how are you tonight? You all right?
Right, it's time for someone njani.
Okay.
Ingathi ubheka ngale lihlo lo.
I always say ukuthi yonke into iyajwayeleka. I know she's hot, but mina sengimjwayele. Kimi sekayafana nje nokuthi udadewethu. No, I'm joking. Let's get to it.
Yes.
We are on part 3.
And the final part.
It's the final part. Noma ngathiwa part 4 sesoyibona next year.
Yes.
Or kanjani?
True, sure.
Tonight we're talking about we're focusing on tension. Angit. Okay. The topic basically, it's things that would distract you sexually. Sikhulume hygiene, sakhuluma romance last week, and then sashota ngokufaka tension. Ukuthi tension it distracts kanjani sexually, engaging in a sexual act, especially with your partner, because you know I've always heard ukuthi no, there's making love and there's having sex. You understand? Ukuthi now when you're making love, when you're making love, tension it disturb kanjani that process or that act of making love. You understand? Because I know ukuthi when you're having sex, there are people about relieve tension in sex. You understand? Uthola ukuthi uzosebenzisa any method of sex, whether oral or whatever, but as I biza ngokuthi stress reliever. You understand? I remember we once had a person asitshela leyo nto leyo ukuthi when she thinks of ex izinto amenze yona nani ufocusa kakhulu ku sex ngoba iyamreliever in a way. You understand? So I need to understand the difference when I love, or the balance between tension it contributes on love making or when you just having sex. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I do. Definitely.
You know that. So, between the two, tension, it contributes in terms of love making. You know why I'm saying this? Because now love making, it's emotions. And you are more engaging, you are more connecting emotionally than on the physical. You understand? Just by looking at each other. You understand? And transferring uthando from me to you, from you to me, and I believe that is love making. You understand? And now when you're talking of love making, you need ube sober minded in a way. In fact, focus entirely. No, you understand?
Okay.
So according to Wena, how does tension affect? Is it on love making or on the sexual act itself?
You know, it's in really safe family, welcome again to another episode in the final straw. Let's talk about sex with and I'm hoping umuntu alright la khona indeed, iCovid ayakapheli. Man love ngibonga ukuthi ngimuhla wazi ngichaza kanjani manje la ukuthi ngimuhla. Ngiyachazeka. Baby, masikhuluma about tension. When it comes to the matters of the heart or love, baby, akusi thesis, akudingeki ukuthi manje siyothola equation paper sihlale phansi and unpack this thing, Firstly, for starters, yes, there is a difference between sex and love making, and we can find both in a couple, We can be able to engage, see have sex fast, like ugehlisa la nto masijontshana and all of that. It has nothing to do with sex and it has nothing to do with tension at that time. That is sex, and then this love making, it's this deep, passionate where you romance each other, you are like engaging into each other with all this foreplay and stuff like that. And I'm not a sex expert, but it's kind of like of common sense, you know. And we need to understand that sex doesn't only happen when you are relieving stress. But when we're speaking about attention, when you're supposed to engage sexually, whether is it in sex or is it in lovemaking, but sexually, it's a case of there are things that are occupying your mind, or there's disagreements or some unresolved issues between you as couples, as it end up and them leaving hanging, zenza ukuthi man ankhona no communicator noma nivuka or manihlangana niyabhekana nje akuna harmony at that time. And in that space you need to understand ukuthi on couples who know laws maybe mostly on men, because men, I stand to be corrected, but men mostly, whether if sexual drive we have and all that, that's why I think they're able to even go to escort agencies. You know, it's not a problem for them.
But even women do go.
Yes, there is also some women who are like that. But when it comes to a couple where there is those things that are occupying their harmonious space, that is killing the communication, the romance, the disagreement, that's what tension is. And who most women, I can only speak for women because I'm a woman. To most women, that thing mentally, I'll tell you or finance line. There's so many things that we are disagreeing on and we're not finding a common ground. Automatically you disengage her, sexually. Whether it has to be sex or it has to be a love making, you disconnect her because already I'm saying occupy but and a man like that, you are somebody at the time or some hustling.
When you say that, in terms of cheating, yes. Cheated a number of times, and then at some point, figure to a point of which you know what, I immediately saying remember which Benga cheated it a rock of ages, being cheated umuntu, I don't know, correct. So sometimes my feelings are
and stand for what I believe in. Not the camera.
No, in terms of which ngizoloku ngikwenza izinto zishaya la emaceleni embokotweni or ziyangena, you understand, but what I'm trying to say, which you are a person, you are a human being. So meaning which all these things and loku ngizenza mangicheata ngenzani zihlala emuntwini, you understand? And then eventually, history sami in my previous relationship, ukuthi I was a serial cheater, I was a serial cheater, cheated left, right, and center. And the person I was in a relationship with at the time, we want to emphasize actually what we are talking about. It's from our personal experience. You understand that we are not experts of any sort. That we are assuming. So I was a serial cheater. I was a serial cheater. Not you. In my previous relationship. And then now, eventually, I figure to a point of which, you know what, and send from who's Pataga and this is where I want us to go. And then it's a decision I took upon myself, but not taking into consideration of which the person immense and yena ukuphi emotional, you understand? And I assumed ukuthi automatically bangibona ngihlele esofeni ngo-8 ebusuku on a Friday uzobona ukuthi sengichange, you understand? Yes, it might happen ukuthi mina individually as a person I've decided to change, but a contribution yami angithi kunalento leyo ukuthi hamba ushaya ibonda ngespeaker every time ukwati and then mase ukhama ubheke ukuthi le bonda lizo le imbobo zizovaleka na I contribution yami kanti ayikasuki le imbobo engiloku ngisibhoboza mangiloku ngichitha ngenzani azikasuki kulo muntu I understand only to find out ukuthi mina ngilahlile ngisitshela ukuthi yonke into right Loya wayenzani wangena in a relationship wangichithela and mase ngihlala naye ngikhuluma naye uthi kimi no the reason I did that it's not because bengasakuthandi or rain I just felt every time mangibheka I always felt ukuthi I need ukuthi ngikwenze lento ungenze yona ngikuzwise lento ngizwise yona you understand which came to the question that came to my mind at that time ukuthi so then if ubheka loka kulo mqondo mangiloku ngilala naye bewenzakalani emqondweni
but I need to understand one thing about that baby ukuthi there's a difference between intention and somebody who is emotionally or I don't want to say psychologically because it's too strong when I say psychologically you know there's a difference between intention and umuntu who is emotionally affected or psychologically disturbed I don't want to use psychological because umuntu mentally ill you understand but let me rather stick to emotional a part of things ngoba tension into ukuthi state uxabanela ukuthi uvula iglazi wathi angikhulumanga nawe kahle mangakhulumanga nawe kahle unokuthi ngizibone ukuthi I was wrong azanga kwada ngadineka ngikwatela iglazi lami and then now usukwatela ukuthi ngikhulume nawe ngathi umntwana asakhumisana sesidinakelene siyangala solala kukanjani that's tension
okay I understand that
from the story that you are telling it was beyond tension now it was into yokuthi somebody was emotionally affected
you know why I'm getting into this based on ama inboxes what you understand ukuthi you can call it tension you can call it emotional imbalancement or whatever you understand but the point is mawungena into an act into a sexual act nomuntu ukuthi umqondo wakho udisturbed in any way whether ngiyisikomishi whether ngikuchithele but umqondo wakho mawudisturbed in any way you understand is that when now seqala the faking of moaning the faking of orgasm or whatever because now you need to understand ukuthi at the same time ngenze ukuthi kune tension between mina nawe but you don't want to find yourself so ngince isex to a point ukuthi ngicine ngiyoyisika estradeni you understand so kuyafika isikhathi now whereby sekuthi ugcina icala
yes it does but I need to if you remember when we were speaking I don't remember whether it was on hygiene or it was last week when we were talking about it in the romance you know there are reasons you will find women they end up faking orgasm and tension it's also one of them or emotional stress it is also one of them iyenzeke ukuthi I pretend ngathi she's coming kanti she's not even there just ukuthi nje appease wena or I hide the situation yokuthi ungaboni ukuthi akekho sexually into you because you need to remember in women when you have cheated as a man in my mind when you engage with me sexually I automatically think ukuthi lo mawulala naye yini ebeyike bofila kanjani or mawuleli nami do you fantasize about her ubona yena in me mawucimezi you know like you think about things that disconnect you without you knowing ukuthi disconnect mhlambe umamba so or uso yini anayo ubona yabona like your mind runs wild you know your mind runs wild ukuthi okay fine is he doing this with me because he wants to do it with me or naye ugcina icala njengoba nami sengigcina icala so a whole lot of things do happen but you need to understand ukuthi that is why I was trying to make the difference between intention and emotional a situation because when you are magnet tension in the you know ukuthi angeke ngize ngifuna nangokuthi it's obvious and now you won't even attend you understand but if it's an emotional something that has affected you emotionally and according to you resolve it when I was ukuthi in me isangisebenza ngizothi mangithinta ngivume yabo ngizothi mangikanti with tension whatever the case might be. But for somebody who is emotionally affected, the fact you are in a relationship when you cheated, which to most people it qualifies they ended the relationship. But waxolela ukuthi ngifuna ukuresolve izinto but affectile emotionally but ngoba usho ukuthi uzodila naye kuze kube ngcono. That is why mawumthinta azovuma all in the name yokuthi uthe I have forgiven you and I still want to be with you. But emotionally it's some factor. But tensionally ngene tension masixabene sikwatele ngikhona ukukutshela kahle ngibaba.
Okay, you know the reason now I'm asking this, I want us to come up with a solution. I want us to come up with solutions, in fact. Okay, so then, me as a man, now I'll speak on your behalf as a woman, which what is it that you need to look out for? So me as a man, what is it that I need to look out for? Are you in this with me fully, or you just cleaning it all?
Love everything, hygiene, romance, tension, anger, depression, whatever, it direct link or it direct solution to everything. It's communication.
No. I sing like that. No. That's not good. Yes. Let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
So this person hasn't been communicating with me.
Yes.
And I'm suspecting
Yes.
and I'm suspecting all these things that have been mentioned.
Yes.
So how do I see ukuthi ukhona kulento or akekho kulento esenzayo fully? Because you know why I'm saying this. Like me as a man, ne kuyenzeka thiwe ulala nomuntu esifazane but awusekho lapho whether ama looks or yini, you understand, and you'd find ukuthi noma ungibheka wena umuntu engage nawo mawumbheka uzobona ukuthi you know what, physically yes I'm there but akuna connection, akuna that emotional connection between the two of us. You understand? Umuntu wesilisa uyakhona ukumuzwa makakubambela whether uvukelwe or akavukelwanga, you can feel ukuthi lo muntu lo, remember the caller that we spoke
but
to.
even with women, I'm sorry to interject today, even with women ngiyakuthola now what you're trying to say. But you need to remember ukuthi nanoma ngingakubandela ufile but mawungibuza ngadeny, because one or the other, if we are born at some point you would want to ask to confirm what you are suspecting, because it's only a suspicion up until it's proven right it is the truth. Because as much as a man can feel like a man can be cold towards umuntu wakhe, now women can be like that ngilala now ngikube ngathi akenzakalanga next but it will not. We can't say uzobona ngathis ubone ngathat uzoyenza so ayenze so, because all of those are suspicions up until are communicated. That is why it's everything links back to communication, because you need to understand if uzozitshela ukuthi uba udry manje for player udry nanoma ngaphakathi udry, that's not qualifying thing to say come on Bella she's not into me anymore, because with women there's contraceptives that they use, and contraceptives they have a tendency of creating which abantu besifazane babe dry in their vagina, affect nayo. So and makazofika athi kuwe but contraceptives anyekumpikisi, you're not a woman, you don't know, but it happens. Hence ngithi there's so many things that we can hide behind up until usikhulume amaqiniso. Communication is the only way, because into you suspect ngayiphika ulokuyibona and you can never say usozangiyeka wena ngoba uzibona ukuthi ayivela iqiniso wethu uyavuma akavuma, but it will still remain a suspicion up until I confirm it, and the only way to do that, I need to talk.
So the common solution to all three, it's communication.
That's it.
So basically into umambatha azama ukuyisho mlaleli ukuthi whatever you do, if you deny yourself ukuthi uveze imibono yakho okanye imizwa yakho, it means you are denying yourself your own pleasure.
That's
especially
correct.
Sexually, because now mina as umuntu okubuzayo ukuthi are you sure you okay, mina mangiza kuwe ngiza ngitshelana ukuthi ngiza emuntwini right and nami bese ngifila ngibe right, you understand, ngizenze right ngibe comfortable ngibe right, kanti wena bowungekho lapho uzithola ukuthi ufila ngathi lo uyarapeka emshadweni wakho ngenxa yokuthi
in your relationship
ngenxa yokuthi wena There are things that you feel which you can't talk about. There are things that you feel which they are too embarrassing ukuthi ungakhuluma ngazo. You understand that? Because now, for example, kunzima ukutshela umuntu ukuthi love uyanuka. You understand? So ngoba besilokhu usizana ukuthi kumele uthole ama mechanism okwenzani. But the point is kwamele umuntu azi ukuthi uphatheke kanjani ngaphakathi. Because the minute umuntu azi ukuthi uphatheke kanjani ngaphakathi, kunezinye you know people suffer, babe. They suffer for years. Ngento kube wayikhuluma ngayo ngizoyilungisa there and there. But because you feel ukuthi no, hayi washa kwacima nani, hayi uzobona ngathi ngiyambody shame, washa kwacima, utho ukuthi manje phela 3 years uloku suffer ngento engabe ngayilungisa 3 years ago just because une issue. So whatever you do, make it a point. Ngoba sex, it's about 2 people. It's not about pleasure yomuntu oyi-one. You understand? So you too lento kumele isijabulise. So you too lento we must look forward to it. Because if I don't look forward into sleeping with my wife, then who am I looking forward to sleeping with? You understand? Vice versa. Now if you're not looking forward to ukulala nami, one way or the other, it's natural. This sex is natural. It's something that we all seek. So it means if I'm not looking forward to sleeping with you, eventually there is someone else. Enzo, you know what? Manga lana noba. You understand? So rather make your sexual partner or your partner the best fantasy that one can ever have.
That's
Good
true.
night and God bless you. And thank you so much for my inbox and everything. Amanye, they are very intense. Bashilo, which they can't share on our comments. And Amanye, they are very touching. We can't mention them down on our private. But uNkulunkulu alenze kahle. We hope which these videos are helping. God bless you and good night.
Siyabonga kakhulu family. As I close nami, I would like to say in the beginning of the topic yokuqala masenza this topic part 1, I did say which more than your partner having to tell you when I get take the stand and check when am I meeting my credentials or my standards with my relationship now. Am I the way I think my husband or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my wife would want me to be? Do not be scared to be brutal with yourself. We will approach you to love. This is what I want you to help me with. Because sometimes unceda umuntu wakho to love you better or to make it easy in the engagement, even more easier, you know. Ufana nobaba umbatha khona ukungitshela mangaqina ukuthi yazi umuntu namhlanje unattractive or mangayenza
Hey, be very careful about that one. Mawufuna ukwazi ngicela ungithinte private, but be very careful about that.
So mangisho kanjalo family, we love you. Let's look after our relationships, our marriages. They are important to us. They make a huge part, a huge impact of part of our lives. So mangisho kanjalo siyantanda siyabonga.